His place, the North Tongue area, has been one of the hugely devastated areas, and he himself, we've seen him on the ground doing a lot to help his people, and we can only commend him for the job he is doing. He was not so happy in Parliament today when the Minister for Energy went to give an account or a report on what has been happening in respect of the spillage of the dam. He joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Let me commend you really for all the job you've been doing for your people, indeed, your constituents. But we highly commend you for the job you've been doing. You were not particularly happy with the minister's comments today. But before we get to that, what will you say is the present state of affairs in your constituency, especially Mepe, which appeared to be the hardest hit area in all this crisis?
Let me thank you for your kind words and indicate that if it hadn't been for stations like yours and for great Ghanaians really have exhibited during this period that this is what makes us Ghanaian. We are compassionate, we are kind, we are warm, we are caring, we look out for each other, we have fellow feeling. And I share all the credit with Ghanaians. Without Ghanaians, reaching out in their numbers, everybody, big or small startups, individuals, families, everybody contributing to keep our people alive. I mean, I think that the real credit and praise should go to Ghanaians, and we thank them very much. But for Ghanaians and stations like yours, I really don't know where we will be. In terms of the current situation, my brother, I wish I could tell you that there's a vast improvement and that my people are no longer living in classrooms and that everybody's got their life back and normalcy has been restored. I wish I could tell you that, but unfortunately, that is not the reality. That is not the truth. As I speak to you, the over 12,600 displaced people, according to NADMO official statistics, 12,633 people were displaced because of the spillage. Majority of these people have had to be crammed in congested classrooms, which is a public health disaster, in sanitary conditions, cholera outbreak, typhoid. The doctors who came in have told us that there are all kinds of respiratory diseases, all kinds of skin rashes. I mean, just imagine losing everything and then on top of that, being asked to live in a classroom without a kitchen, without bed, without washrooms, without a toilet. You are living in there 5 weeks now. And the minister comes to Parliament and doesn't tell us about the resettlement plan. Apiati, how long did it take for government to announce a resettlement plan, for government to start construction of houses? If it hadn't been for stations like yours, Citi FM, and I must commend you, leading effort, you cut the sword today for construction to begin. I have had to, through my own initiative, reach out to corporate Ghana, and I must commend the Sky Group, who have started construction in my constituency. But for that's the only visible construction going on. Of course, I have 2 other promises, which I'm expecting that we will initiate construction soon from Mr. Ibrahim Mahama and Prophet Daniel Amwatin. I mean, how long can we depend on the benevolence of individuals and corporate Ghana? No resettlement plan, not a word, not a mention of it. Then no compensation. Look, people have lost their entirety. Everything they have worked for all their lives. I mean, imagine in a split second losing your home, losing your farm, losing your shop, your livestock, your documents, your certificates, your gadgets, electronic appliances, everything. Some have lost money. You know that the savings culture, I mean, in rural Ghana, a lot of people don't go to the banks. These, fanciful banking halls intimidate a lot of rural folks. They save their money at home. All of that has been washed away. So that is what we are discussing. And then I was expectant that after all of these weeks, formation of an interministerial committee, which I think was even needless, because this is a cabinet response. Government must say, we all know what to do. Resettlement, compensation. You just move in and take action. I agree with Ross Perot that when you see a snake and you must kill it, you kill it. You don't form a committee to decide on how to kill the snake. So you have a minister who comes to Parliament after 5 weeks of people living under inhumane conditions in classrooms, and the most important issues are not addressed. Nothing on resettlement, nothing on compensation, how people can have their livelihoods back. And then what we rather saw was an attempt to just defend the VRA and throw everybody else under the bus with blatant falsehoods. I mean, when the minister is told that members of Parliament were informed, if I was the Minister of Energy, I'll ask, okay, I hear you, VRA. Can I see the evidence? Can I see the invitation letter? Can I see minutes of the meeting? Who were those in attendance? What was their contribution? Can I see evidence of their attendance? You don't just take hook, line, and sinker claims from VRA that they informed members of Parliament. And you saw how they were exposed today. I challenge them to prove a single invitation letter, a single, where was the meeting? Where was it held? Where was the venue? When were we informed? So that we can inform our people, prepare, and make sure our people are evacuated to higher ground. So people have been negligent. People have not valued human lives, have not valued properties. Then there was also this false claim that the VRA is sharing relief items and MPs have received their share. I mean, the danger in that statement is that you will have constituents chasing us and saying, hey, MPs, you haven't been transparent with us. You haven't done full disclosure. The items you have received, why are you quiet? We had the energy minister in Parliament revealing that you guys have received your share of relief items. Meanwhile, you have brought us nothing from VRA. I mean, why would government be doing this? We are down and out and traumatized, and you keep kicking us with just lies upon lies, blatant falsehoods. Look, as I speak to you, if it hadn't been the benevolence of Ghanaians, corporate Ghana, the churches, Muslim groups, foundations, NGOs, embassies. As I speak to you, the Turkish embassy is with us tomorrow. The Cuban embassy has called. They are sending us doctors. If it hadn't been for the benevolence of our citizens and the international community, I mean, look, people would just have died out of hunger, died out of heat, out of insanitary conditions, and all we are getting is just one fabrication to the other. So far, no concrete plan. What is the concrete plan? What is the concrete plan? Look, if Citi FM knows that houses must be built, people will have to be relocated, because in North Tongue alone, according to NADMO, more than 1,500 houses have been destroyed by these floodwaters. Is government telling us that a whole government doesn't know that this is what must be done, and it's taking this long? And look, as we speak this evening, just put, I mean, my brother Salom, just imagine being cramped, a classroom that even for just normal classes, maximum 40 people in there. You have 200 people, just like crammed like sardines. I mean, and these classrooms were not prepared for, they are not boarding houses. So even in terms of mosquito nets, we are scrambling all over the place looking for mosquito nets for our people. So they are at the mercy of the vagaries of the weather and all that comes with it. Mosquitoes. I mean, some are sleeping in the open on verandas in these schools. I mean, why? Why treat fellow Ghanaians like this? Why? And as we speak, my brother, not far from my constituency is Saglemi housing. Saglemi, not far, 30 minutes drive, you are at Saglemi. Even if government cannot provide permanent resettlement, how about a temporary arrangement where Saglemi is prepared so that quickly our people can live decently, can live like human beings. Look, if you visit some of these schools, my brother, you will not even allow your pet animals to live under those conditions. Why are we doing this to Ghanaians? Why?
How about the finance minister, said about a week ago when he visited some of the areas, I'm sure he was in your constituency also, when he donated some 2 million on behalf of the finance ministry, that he will provide governments long-term, solution to the problem of displacement we are seeing. So are we not running ahead of ourselves? Maybe the finance minister has the package and the energy minister didn't have to let that out of the bag. So finance minister comes before you and the people of Ghana next week. Shouldn't we listen? Shouldn't we wait to hear what he will say before we draw out our arsenal?
There is a reason. There is a reason why.
Good evening. You own the light, and I'm giving you the light. You pass.
I'm doing an interview. I didn't see you. Sorry about that. I'm doing an interview.
Accident happened.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It does appear that the honorable member of parliament was parked somewhere before doing this interview, and a road user. Yes, Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're dealing with the matter of the spillage of the dam, and matters are rising. Honorable, apologies for that. I'm sure you're better now.
Yes. Sorry about that. I'm rushing back to the constituency after Parliament, and I'm in trouble with the road user, but it's been resolved. Sorry about that. So the finance minister saying we should wait for his presentation of the budget. You see, this is an emergency. These are not matters that require business as usual attitude, where you just wait it out, wait for the next budget cycle. My brother Salom, there is a reason why in every budget everywhere in the world, all countries, there is a line item called the contingency fund. For the 2023 budget cycle, this current year, the budget we are operating, we approved a contingency fund of 600 million cedis in the budget. The question I ask is, where is all that money? You remember the last time government was exposed that they were using the contingency to construct the National Cathedral on the blind side of Parliament. So there's so much money in that fund, they could even hive off some, to use for a National Cathedral project, which was not approved by Parliament. So this is a clear case of an emergency, which the contingency fund qualifies very much to be used for this situation. Where is that 600 million? We don't need to wait for the next budget cycle. I was in the House when we approved the 2023 budget in November last year. And we put as much as 600 million cedis in the contingency. It is used for things like this. Because in a year, crisis occur, emergencies happen. There may be a disaster. It is particularly for happenstance like this, developments like this, that you use the contingency fund for. This is an emergency. Look, people are collapsing on a daily basis. You can call up the very respected Reverend Vivian Ajinasari, the Archbishop Ajinasari's wife. The day she came to the Agbetipo camp to make a donation, some judge was with her and other bishops from the church. An old lady collapsed. A 75-year-old lady collapsed. It was her first son, the young Bishop Ajinasari, who even helped with resuscitating the old lady. And then she was rushed to the Bator Catholic Hospital. We don't even have ambulances at these camps. So on a daily basis, people are collapsing. People are living under inhumane conditions. And that is what you use the contingency fund for. We don't wait for another budget cycle, another year. Because what it means is that as for this year, my people should forget it, because the budget will be approved late December. You can only start spending in January. So from September, October, November, December, people should be living in classrooms under these conditions. Will we accept our parents, our grandparents, we ourselves? Is this something we will accept to live with? Why are we doing this?
Very well. Honorable, thanks so much. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this matter. We wish you the very best in your endeavor.